Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Volkswagen, and I'm checking out a 2018 Volkswagen Golf R. Now this is a turbocharged, all-wheel drive hatchback with torque vectoring and a magnetically controlled suspension system, among other features. So let's go ahead and check it out. This Golf R is sitting on 235 35 Pirelli tires wrapped around 19-inch alloy wheels. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is Lapis Blue, with a Z, by the way, L-A-P-I-Z. So you can see what it looks like here since the sun's out today. Really strong lines there on the hood. Okay, so looking at the front, nice big Volkswagen emblem. I notice vehicles are having larger and larger emblems. So it has a body colored front bumper cover, but it also has a lot of cooling here in the front for the engine and the turbocharger, as well as other things. So you can see there's no fog lights. But it does have that gloss black accent around the outside, as well as the bottom and there around the emblem. And then there's a very subtle chrome portion there across the side, going side to side there. And it kind of extends into the headlights, which is neat. And at the very bottom, it has some blue again. Now it has the parking sensors across the front. This one has the Park Pilot, which I'll show you that when we get on the inside. Have the R badge. Now all the exterior lighting on this vehicle is powered by LEDs. So your headlights, they have a black bezel here. Here and here it's all black. It has like a honeycomb design. Now that has an LED daytime running light, LED turn signals, and for your low beams is in a LED projector housing. High beams are a reflector. They're also adaptive. The low beams are adaptive LED headlights. So looking at the profile of the vehicle, you notice it has pretty much everything body colored, except even the handles, except for the side mirrors. They're a gloss black. The center pillar here is black, and it kind of has a black around the outside of the windows, so kind of gives it a uniform look, especially if you were to tint the glass. Now the wheels are really popping out. The 19-inch wheels on a vehicle this size really looks nice, and I like the design. I think they really look good. Matches the vehicle well. And then at the very bottom, there is a black strip right in here. This is what the key looks like. It's a proximity key system, and it's designed to where you can just keep it in your pocket and use the vehicle 100%. Now it does have a physical key and a little switchblade style, which is nice. And it has the lock and unlock, the ability to unlock the trunk, and a panic button here. So let's go ahead and push that panic button and see what the horn sounds like. So it's just a little beepy horn. As long as you have the key with you, as long as it's on the outside of the door, within a close distance, you can lock it by placing your finger over this little sensor. It's indicated with a little line right there. So as long as you put your finger there, it can be your thumb, whatever. As long as it senses a finger, it will lock. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle. It senses your hand position there and allows you access to the vehicle. Now there's a physical key location behind this cover, so you will need to take this cover off and you can put the key in there. It slides off or pries off. I hadn't really done it yet, but it's in behind that cover. Looking on the inside of the passenger side door, it's mostly black, except for it has that metallic accent there with a simulated carbon fiber accent here. I don't know if you can see that. It also has some contrast stitching on the armrest. Now the soft touch features are at the very top, and this is like a Nerf type foam material, synthetic material, and then right in here and on your armrest, of course. And these surfaces are kind of like a vinyl type material. Same thing with the handle. The rest are a hard plastic. Now right inside the pocket is a felt lining, and look how much space they have here in the door. And they're maintaining a speaker in the door as well, and they still have a lot of space here, which is very impressive. Here's the threshold with a sill plate. It looks like the sill plate actually illuminates there. It's looking pretty nice. I haven't done a night video on this vehicle yet. Maybe I would be able to do it one day. So the seat here on the passenger side is a combination of powered and standard adjustments. So you have this button to tilt the back, this to raise and lower the seat. You have a manual lumbar adjustment here, and then you have a adjustment to slide the seat forward and back there underneath the seat. The seats are a black leather that are heated. It has the R embellished there on the back of the seat. It also has the gray piping and stitching here in white. There's the perforations there in the center portion, and then the standard leather texturing on the outside. Stereotypical leather texturing. Really bolstered seats, so getting in the vehicle, it does hug you quite well. Okay, so here's the floorboard, and the floor mats snap in place. There's some tapering right in here for your legroom, but overall, pretty good amount of space. The dash is a soft touch surface right in here, kind of like a rubbery type material. And then you have more of that carbon fiber look with the metallic accent. Check out the glove compartment. It's a felt lined glove compartment. It has a place to put some coins, cards, or driver's license or registration or whatever. You also have an optical drive and places to put SD cards, things like that. The inside of the back door is similar to the front. It's, of course, is smaller, but the only soft touch surfaces are around your arm here and here. The rest is a hard plastic, including up in here. Then you have the felt lined storage compartment in here as well, which is pretty good size for a rear door. So you have the bench seat back here with the latch system for car seats. It also has a armrest with cup holders, and they're adjustable, so you have these little pieces that pop out and pop back in, so you can have a place for a cell phone in the middle or different size cups. You also have a pass-through to the storage space in the back, or the cargo space. There's vents and a very significant hump there in the center, so if you have a center passenger, they'll have to deal with that. And then you have the pockets on the back of the front seats, and the front seats are this seat's all the way back to give you an idea of the minimum amount of legroom. Now I'm 6 feet tall and I can fit there. My knees will be touching there, but you know, you have a lot of room in the front, but if you have tall people in the back, you will need to compromise slightly, you know, the front legroom to accommodate for them. Now these seats fold down in case you want to add to your cargo space. So have the little latch right there, and you can fold it down like so. And they fold down in a 60-40 split. Fuel door is here on the passenger side, and it locks when the vehicle's locked. So right now it's locked. Push the unlock button. Unlocks the doors, also unlocks the fuel door. Opens up, and it has a cap with a little tether, but this one has a little post. And the post goes right there to hold the cap keep it out of the way while you're pumping gas. Now it holds 14.5 gallons, and premium unleaded fuel is recommended. Okay, so looking at the back of the vehicle, it has a little shark fin antenna that's black right here. Third brake light is all really wide there. It's pretty good size, and it's powered by LEDs. You have a rear wiper, LED tail lights, as well as turn signals, all that. Your Volkswagen emblem also serves as the handle to open up the hatch. It also serves as the backup camera. So when you put it in reverse, a little camera pops out. That's pretty cool. I'll show you that later. And then you have a quad exhaust, chrome quad exhaust tips back here, surrounded by a gloss black parking sensors across the back here. In addition to this rear spoiler, it also has these little side spoilers here, right in there. I thought that was pretty neat. It looks pretty cool, and I'm sure it helps out a little bit with the aerodynamics. Okay, let's open up the hatch. You take the emblem, you push it in the top, and it releases the hatch. Also gives you this handle here. So you notice there's no camera right now, but it does pop out when you put it in reverse. So there's a place under here to store reflective triangles right in that area. Now this one has the shade in place. You can take this out and you just unhook the little strings there and it pops right out. It's very light, easy to move around. And here's your cargo space. So if you have all the passengers in the back seats and everything, and you don't have any ability to fold the seats down, you have around 23 cubic feet of space back here. And this one has some upgrades with the rubber mats and a roadside assistance bag right here. And you have a cargo management system with these little Velcro dividers so they can stick on this carpet back here. You also have, see these little pieces sticking out. This holds the floor, so when you lift this up, they snap right there, so it lifts it up and holds it. And this is where you'll find the fender subwoofer. Now there's no spare tire. That's actually an option. So if you like that, you can add that. You can also unscrew and take out the subwoofer if you need some extra space. You have a 12-volt power supply, place to tie down cargo. Also put in a bag holder, also a net pocket if you want to do that. Instead of a spare tire, it does come with a tire inflator kit, as well as the little tow hook. Now if you ever see vehicles and they have this little door right here, that pops open and this screws into that, so that way it adds a tow hook to the outside of the vehicle without hooking underneath the vehicle. So some people get that confused with the parking sensors, but that's what these little covers are for. You'll see them in the front or the back. Usually these are reverse thread. So if you can fold down one seat or the other, so you can see there's a split right here to add to your cargo space. Now if you fold down both of them and remove the shade here, then you'll add about 30. You'll go from 23 to 53 cubic feet of storage space, so it's a lot more. As long as you have the key inside the vehicle, it could be in a bag or your pocket or whatever. To start it up, you just hold the brake and push this button right here. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. You can see the floor mat there, hooks in place. And check out those pedals, looking nice with the raised rubber portions on them. Very large footrest here on the left side. So let's take a look under the hood. Now I want to mention something about the hood latch. It's right here, and you notice it's kind of flush with this side of the vehicle. Now when you close the door, it covers this up, so that way you don't accidentally open up the hood while you're inside driving the vehicle. To open the hood, there is a latch right in here above the emblem. So you reach in, push it up, and lift it up. Doesn't weigh very much. You can see the latch right there. It's pretty simple. And it goes up by itself. And it's an insulated hood with some seals there on the ends. Insulated firewall, as well as a heat shielding. Insulated battery as well. Now, TSI is a turbocharged stratified injection. So it has the direct injection, the turbocharger, and you see the intake, the plastic intake is here in the front, the exhaust is in the back, as well as the turbocharger. And I mentioned something, this is a chain driven dual overhead cam, and so there's no timing belt to replace or anything like that. It also has 4 valves per cylinder, so you have 2 intake, 2 exhaust valves, and they have variable timing on those valves. Now on the exhaust valves, it also has variable lift as well. Maximum horsepower is 292 at 5,400 RPMs. Maximum torque is 280 pound-feet at 1,800 RPMs. That's really low RPMs for maximum torque. That's nice. Get you going quick. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the passenger side, except for it has a few more buttons. You have your power window controls here, and 1 touch down, and 1 touch up. And that's for the front glass and the back glass. So you can see the back glass, 1 touch up and down, and they're quite smooth. And your side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and just move it around like a little joystick. You can see a little bit of that illumination here. Okay, so the seat has all powered. So it has up, down, forward and back, all that stuff, and a powered lumbar adjustment for the driver. Driver always gets treated a little bit more special, it seems. To the left of the steering column, there's a little storage compartment right in here. And it's pretty good size, actually. Headlight controls are right here, so it has automatic, parking, and on, and then your dimmer switch for your interior gauges is here. It also has a tilt and telescoping steering column. Now you notice the lever is very easy to find. It's right there, and just move it up and down, and a lot of articulation as far as the telescoping portion. And right when you get it in place, just lock it in place like so. Okay, sitting in the driver's seat, checking it out. And I have the front seat all the way back, all the way down, tilted back a little bit just to show you the maximum legroom here. So I'm 6 feet tall, and I can put my legs completely straight out and barely touch the pedal. So it would have to come up a little bit on the seat for me to drive comfortably, for my particular preference anyway. So you can see the knee room is fantastic. So looking at the steering wheel, it's a leather wrapped steering wheel with a flat bottom, and it has the contrast stitching, and it's not like a round steering wheel. It actually has a little bit of a sharper edge on this side, and then it's round on the back side. So it has a really unique feel, and it's a little bit soft to the touch, but not super soft. It has a little R right here. Let's go ahead and peel this off so you can see what it actually looks like. has a really different, like a honeycomb texture right in here, but looks and feels really nice and high quality. Okay, so here on the back actually is the paddle shifters. So they're mounted to the steering wheel. Your plus is on the right side, negative is on the left, so that way you can change through the gears manually. And then you have some buttons here on the front. So you have your Bluetooth, hang up, answer calls here, as well as a voice recognition. Now, the rest of these buttons correspond with this screen. Now the gauges, it has the digital dash, so everything is digitally represented, and I'll show you how cool that is in just a minute. On the left side is your volume for your radio and your cruise control. It also has the adaptive cruise control, in which you can adjust the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you there. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side, and on the left side is your turn signal, as well as your dimmer switch for your interior gauges. You also have your blind spot monitor system. So you have your lane assist, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, and front assist. So you can go into that feature by pushing the button on the end. Your blind spot monitors are there on the side mirrors. Okay, so looking at this gauge cluster is basically one big screen. It's a digital dash. So right now it's showing the RPMs on the left side with the engine coolant temperature. On the right side is your speedometer with a digital speedometer in the center and a fuel gauge at the bottom. Now you notice on the left side it says P in the center of the tachometer. Now that's what gear you're in. So if I change gears, it's going to turn to an R when I put it in reverse. So that's your gear and the speed. Now that's customizable, and I'll show you all that in just a minute. But right here in the center, you notice at the very top there's outside temperature, a clock, and some indicators there as far as your direction. So it has a digital compass and letting you know that the stop start feature is disabled right now. At the bottom you have some different lights, your odometer, your trip, and your safety feature, your lane departure alert system and all that. But right there in the very center is a map. So this is part of your navigation system. But we can change that. So using these buttons here, so I'm going to start off with this side to side. I have up and down, I have left to right, and I'll have this OK button. So I'm going to use these buttons here. And right now I'm going to scroll to the right. So when I do that, it shows me these tabs at the top. And you notice they're an icon, and then as I reach one, it tells me what that icon is. So that's audio, telephone, vehicle status, lap timer, driving data, assist systems here, navigation. So when I choose navigation, you notice it makes the gauges smaller to allow for a bigger screen there. But you notice that goes away. So if I change the screen here, the other gauges get bigger. The gauges get bigger. So it's very customizable. And right here is where you can change. So let's go back to where we were. So we got views. Okay, so we can go through here, and right now it's gear and speed. We can change it to economy and range. Economy, navigation, driver assist systems. Then we go back out of that. Alright, let's scroll here. You can just have the audio information there in the center, and it makes the gauges bigger. So I thought that was pretty neat, the way you can basically customize this whole thing and get different views. And since it's a screen, they can shrink or enlarge the gauges. I thought that was really neat. Now this is just like the system that you'll find in the Atlas, the digital dashboard. Digital gauges here. Okay, so continuing on. There's your four-way flashers, and you have a touch screen here. So it has some gesture control. So if I take my hand, I just wave it, you notice these things pop at the bottom. That's all it really does. but it does have a physical volume tuned through the stations and some soft touch buttons around the ends on the sides there. So right now we're in the radio, like so. You're going to choose different radio bands when you push it, so satellite radio, AM, FM, and then your presets are there in the center portion. And then of course when you do that number, you can change your adjustments there. So let's go to media. You can see it has Bluetooth audio. It also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Let's go ahead and hit source. So we have CD player, CD card 2, Bluetooth, SD card 2, sorry, Bluetooth audio, navigation, USB, and auxiliary inputs. Now the navigation is, that's how you upgrade the navigation through the SD card input there. Alright, so let's go to phone. There's no cell phone. The cell phone's not, there's somebody's paired, but it's not mine. But once you have a cell phone paired, you have access to, you know, send and receive calls, your phone book, all that good stuff. Voice recognition is here. Navigation, let's go ahead and hit that. Alright, we'll go put in a new destination. Close that. And then it has like a keyboard here, and we can search for addresses. Alright. See what the map looks like. It's the same map that you find on the screen over here. And you can move it around. See if you can pinch, yeah, you can pinch zoom it. That kind of thing. Of course, my angle of my finger isn't exactly right. Since I'm holding the camera, I'm using my left hand. And then the car button, let's push that so we can see, you know, different information there as far as driving it. Sense refuel, sense start, and all that. Alright, so that's kind of a quick rundown. It does have the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities. Let's hit the menu button here so you can see all the different options. App Connect. Now it also has the travel link. You can also view images on the screen, which is pretty neat. It also has mirror link, so it's, you know, mirrors your cell phone onto the screen as well. You have your heated seat controls here, as well as your climate controls. You're heated for your driver and passenger. Your temperature for driver and passenger is there as well. There's the knob to adjust them, and your fan speed, where you want the air to blow, and all that. You can sync both of them here in the front as well. When you push this menu button, it pops up and gives you a visual reference here for the climate control. And, you know, basically when you adjust it, you can see that they adjust the temperatures there. And as I change where the air blows, so let's say I want to turn that off, you can see that disappears. Turn it back on, it reappears. Alright, so this opens up. We just push that down and pops up, and has this storage space there on the left side for a cell phone or whatever. It also has a rubberized grip on the bottom so it doesn't slide around. This is where you'll find your USB and auxiliary inputs. Now, when you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you have to keep it plugged into the USB port, so you can put your cell phone in there, plug it in, and you can actually close this down. There's enough room to fit your cell phone in there and close it up. We already saw the push button start. So right here is your drive mode. So it has the ability to adjust the suspension system using a magnetic type of suspension system using electricity. It's really interesting. It has little metal particles in the hydraulic fluid in the dampers, the struts, so that way it's able to charge them in different ways to adjust the stiffness of the damping. So it also adjusts the steering as well. So let's go ahead and push that drive mode, and when we do that, it cycles through and has a really neat picture in the background. So you have normal, race, custom, eco, comfort, and then back to normal. So it adjusts, you know, like say if you have it on race, it's going to give you a stiffer steering, probably a stiffer suspension, that kind of thing. It also adjusts the kind of like a sport mode as far as the transmission too. So it might give you an elevated, you know, a higher shift point, that kind of thing. Maybe bump up your RPMs at an idle, that kind of stuff for your racing. And pretty much the opposite for your eco. Okay, so your automatic stop-start feature, you could turn that feature off. So if you don't turn it off, if all the features are met, as far as your seatbelt buckle and all that stuff, it's going to stop the engine when you come to a complete stop for extended period of time at a stoplight or a stop sign, that kind of thing, or in traffic. And then your traction control, you can turn that off in case you need to spin tires. Your parking sensors are here. So when I push this, it pulls up the Park Pilot visual reference here, and it'll let you know if you get close to something in the front or the rear using the park sensors. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse so we can see what the backup camera looks like. And the backup camera will pop out, you know, when I put it in reverse, so it pops out. This is helpful because that way it stays relatively clean. So even if the car gets dirty traveling, the lens on the backup camera is going to be enclosed behind that handle, and it'll still stay relatively clean. I mean, it has to start off clean, of course, but it looks like it actually has a little smudge in there. But once it's clean, you're able to, you know, keep it clean pretty much. Also has the guidelines there as well. Put it in neutral, drive, and then you have, so like say if you want to put it in sport mode, when I bump it down one time it's sport mode, bump it down again, it goes into regular. And this is, you know, similar to your drive mode, except for it handles more of the transmission. And so right now I'm going to just show you the RPMs. So right there, standard. When I put it in sport mode, it elevates the RPMs like I was mentioning before, and you know, this is not going to adjust the dampers or the anything like that. It's just going to give you a more, it's going to stay closer to the power band on the transmission, so that way you can really, you know, get the power when you need it, basically. Bump it down again, it goes back to normal. Now if you want to manually shift through the gears, you just move it to the right, and you can use it like a ratchet shifter, or you can use the paddle shifters there as well. Now the shifter itself has the simulated carbon fiber here on the side, and the metallic here. It's really nice looking and feeling good. So yeah, it's an electronic parking brake. You engage it by lifting it up, and you see it has a little indicator there, and it stops the rear wheels basically. And to release it, you just have to hold the brake and push it down, and it'll release. Now the brake hold feature, this will keep the vehicle, it'll hold the brake basically when this is turned on, so the light has to be on. If you come to a complete stop, it's going to keep the vehicle from rolling, so you don't have to hold the brake while you're in traffic. Come to a complete stop, you can leave it in drive or let go of the brake pedal theoretically, and it'll keep you from rolling. And then you can, when you push the accelerator button, the accelerator pedal, I mean, it will disengage the brake and allow you to move forward. Check it out. It has a 12-volt power supply here, and it has a cigarette lighter looking thing in it, but it's actually just a plug to keep it from getting stuff in there. And then this is a little storage space. I guess you can put the key in there, and has a rubberized portion at the bottom. This opens up, and you have some cup holders, and it's open in the center, and it has a rubberized portion at the bottom as well. So the armrest here is very soft and comfortable, but it's kind of small, so you might not want to share it with your passenger. And it moves forward like so and back, and it's pretty solid once it locks in place. So the rear view mirror is almost it's like a frameless rear view mirror. It's looking pretty nice, and it is an auto dim rear view mirror. It's actually auto dimming now because I have the shade over the light sensor. And then you have some lights up here. Takes a second, I guess, to turn on. And then you have your lights in the back there will turn on when you push that button. You can have the lights turn on with the door, so you can have that feature on or off. Has a place to put your shades, and it has a rubberized portion there in the back, and then a smooth plastic here. Really big, so I guess you can use this for more than just sunglasses, or you could put like your big Hollywood sunglasses or whatever. Then you have a roadside assistance and information buttons here in case you need help. And the visor has a little clip here, and it's basically a like a vinyl covered plastic material. It has a mirror with a light that turns on when you open it up, so it looks like an LED clip. It also extends out this way. Okay, so let's look at the visibility back here. So it has the seats in the way, the headrest in the way, and all that stuff. So just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Now, of course, you could fold the seats down if you want to add to your visibility if you don't have any passengers back there. But of course, it has lots of sensors and camera options there, blind spot monitor sensors and all that stuff, parking sensors to help you out. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like, there it is. Alright, so there you have it, 2018 Volkswagen Golf R at East Coast Volkswagen. Thank you for watching. Thank you to East Coast Volkswagen for allowing me to show off another awesome vehicle. And I'll see you guys next time.